Good morning. It's been a while since I've actually gone out and made a video. Recently I've just shot 4 or 5 videos over a few days and then I've been putting them up, so it's a little strange. It's something what's been the channel's sort of been running itself, and as you maybe seen in a few of my other videos, my older videos, I've been talking about how I've been finding a little bit more of a peace in life. Don't worry, this ties into the video. And within that piece, I find myself not wanting to share and not wanting to talk as much, because I'm able to find what I need in life from my partner, from the few friends I'm lucky to have, from the books, and just from living my life. So today I want to talk about, I should mention there's a slight light rain in the air, very light. You won't be able to see it on camera. You can barely see it in the forest. It's just like tiny little specks coming through the top. So what I want to talk about is this idea that we have to fight. I should explain where I've gotten this idea from, and then I should explain how this idea has... I haven't even explained what I'm talking about. I've just told you that we were told to fight. But if you're familiar with this channel, you know you have to think a lot more conceptually than you might have to on another channel. I got the idea from a manga series called The Vinland Saga, which is based on a real, I think true but maybe fictionalized Viking tale of going to Vinland, which is a place I believe between Canada and America. I believe on one of the islands, just off the coast. I forget the name of the island. I was going to say the Princess Island, but I don't think that's it. Anyhow, in the philosophy, in the very, you don't have to read the whole 13 books to get this, but it's basically mentioned in the first book that one of the central characters explains to the main character that you have no enemies. Why are you going off to war to fight? Even if you are fighting for your people and you're fighting for your country, you don't have any enemies. So even to this day, as people, we are told to fight. Every single day we're told to, by our elders, by the news, by whoever, these people are bad because, these people are against you because, that person is against you because. And this philosophy of we don't have enemies, why are we fighting, has been something what I've been thinking about for a long time because of situations I found myself in. I've never been in an actual fight as an adult, because I've always been quite skillful in getting myself out of the fight. If ever the situation got a little bit tricky and I could feel somebody wanted to have... Well, to be honest, I've actually never ever really been in a situation where somebody's actually really wanted to attack me. I felt that slight feeling of somebody wishes they could attack me. But I've been in a few scenarios where my friends have been involved in fights and it could have involved me. And I very skillfully and very tactfully managed to get my friend and myself out of the situation. And to a lot of people, a lot of men, and to a lot of women, if you're not able to, if you don't want to fight, and if you're not able to fight, it's considered unmanly. But I actually think, and I believe it is the strongest thing you can do, the strongest warriors, and to actually be a true warrior, you don't fight, you find another solution, because that takes strength. Anybody can lose their anger and attack. Anybody can join in a collective and attack another collective. So what I see a lot of, and what I saw a lot of when I was younger and I was in the bars and the clubs, would be the women especially wanted the men to fight for their honor, which I think is a ridiculous situation to put a guy in. Because if that guy loses, you're basically saying they have lost honor and they have trod on your pride. And I have seen this before. I have seen men lose in fights and the women then break up with the guy, or the woman completely loses interest in them. And I get the idea that we're animals and we pride ourselves on being the biggest and the baddest as males, and we attract, there's a thing, isn't there, where it's like you become successful and the woman's interested, you become stronger and the woman's interested, you do all these things to become the alpha and become the lion. But do you know what is harder than losing your anger and aggressively punching somebody? Is not bottling that emotion, but finding another solution. That is something that takes real skill and real strength. Something what a lot of people can't do. And you might ask, well, what is the point of that? And the point is that when you attack somebody and when you're always angry, you are also injuring yourself. You're hurting yourself. It's like trauma. Trauma is always there subconsciously till you deal with it or sort it out. Or maybe perhaps it's going to be always there a little bit, like a little spark. It sort of haunts us, trauma. And it's the same with anger and aggression and the need to bully somebody, the need to put somebody down, or the need to, you see an ex and you have confrontational thoughts, whatever it is. That hurts us just as much as it hurts them. If you're going to attack somebody, even if it's a woman and a guy, and let's just say the woman is an ex and she comes and tips a drink on you because she's annoyed at you. Now, usually in that situation, in the society we're built, people probably take the woman's side in the fact that guy's probably cheated, that guy probably deserves that. But what that does is, it injures the guy because it makes the guy look bad. True. But it also injures the woman because the woman had to have she had to have that adrenaline. She had to put herself in a situation where she was the aggressor, and she sort of had to poison herself. Because when we get angry, our hairs go up, our heart beats faster, the beautiful, peaceful, blissful world disappears and it becomes black. And we believe we're defending ourselves, we're defending our territory. And I am the first person to say that we should always defend our freedom, we should always step up and we should always speak. But that's something different. But when we lose our temper and we lose our cool or posture, we attack somebody, even if we are victorious, even if we get the spoils, even if people are proud of us, that injures us. I imagine that if you were to kill somebody in combat, that is something where you can never get over. It's something you can probably pretend that and people will decorate you, will worry, and people will say the more people you kill, you're the strongest. But at the end of the day, you're killing, you're attacking somebody who is just on this planet like you, and this also applies to just attacking somebody in a bar. We're all trying to find something in this world, and of course, some of us are. I'm trying to think of a way not to swear. Some of us are rhymes with bricks, and some of us are forever that, and some of us aren't going to change, and some people I just don't ever want to come in contact with. quite a lot of people. But the thing you have to remember is propaganda comes from us all, different countries, different backgrounds, and different religions, and different ideas on life. We all have access to that. We all have different wants and different needs. Some of us, I'm a person who believes that on a technicality we're all cut from the same cloth, that we actually, so I'm somebody who just I don't desire earthly possessions or money, and I believe all people are actually like that, but I believe because people are told to fight and people are told to grind. People are told that if they have money, they'll become a success. I believe that people chase and want more of those things to feel more powerful and more treasured and to feel like a lion, when the thing to do is to let go of those things and to come out here and to sort of ground yourself, and you will actually become stronger, but then you don't always look stronger to the other people. So that's where people struggle. But when you look at the world, we're not really, when it comes to wars and conflicts, we're not really fighting. We're not really even fighting for a cause when you really get down to it. If you read good history books, War and Peace, which is a fictionalized sort of history book, it's sort of spoken how the bad historians, they say that heroes changed the landscape. It was genius tactics what won wars, but it actually isn't. If you read War and Peace, the French lost just because they lost, and you're thinking, well, what does that mean? Sure, there was a great battle, but when the French moved to Moscow, I believe it was, the Russians left, and they left Moscow burning, or Moscow left it burning. So the French were kind of defeated by that, because they didn't progress to meet the Russians. They didn't have the supplies. The army was spent, so they had no choice but to lose. And I don't know if that makes any sense. It was just they had the battle, and the French, on a technicality, won, but the Russians kind of really won because of there were heavy losses on both sides. So it's almost like a better way to describe it. It's almost like two people attacking each other. It doesn't matter who's more skillful. It doesn't matter who's bigger. They're just attacking each other, and they're both bloody and they're both hurt, and they both just sort of fall on their back. And that's a good way to describe all conflicts. If you really break it down to the minute detail, when somebody's in the bar and they swing a fist at you, it's never really about you, is it? It's about other conflicts. Perhaps they're dealing with deep set issues about their sexuality. Perhaps they're just an extremely jealous person because you remind them of their father or somebody who bullied them. Perhaps they're just extremely depressed and they're looking for their kicks. So they're really not really punching you. They're sort of punching yourself. And to pull out onto my war analogy of earlier, which is quite a hard thing to do, because it's quite a hard thing a concept to get your head around, that if you go to a certain bar at a certain time, it's pretty likely you are going to be hit, or if you are a certain person. So it's just the cause of the world, and you sort of see, you join agendas of like, why am I fighting people again? Oh, because a politician or a president or whoever said that I should fight. They say stand up for your rights, but they don't explain how, look, we're all in this together. We've all grown up in different ways. We have different backgrounds, different philosophies, and different ideas. So instead of attacking each other, let's understand each other, and then we can draw a line through the sand about our philosophies. But then that doesn't really work, because even within a group or believe in the same thing, there's going to be splinters. So that goes into another video. But a true warrior, I end the video by saying it's a true warrior is somebody who they don't fight. They throw their sword into the water. And you might think that's a thing of wishful thinking. It isn't. It is, because you have to educate everybody first, but it is extremely possible. It's extremely possible for somebody to attack me now, and me to question why they're attacking me, and on a sort of a humane level, we can talk. And then you know, there's always somebody out there, some smart ass, who's going to say, well, what about killers and etc and etc and etc. And there are always going to be extremely difficult people in society. So there is the thing of sometimes you have to pick the soul up, but you don't have to use it. You can actually, because when you know, if you immobilize somebody, if you attack somebody, you have to take that on. So you can defend yourself by not hurting yourself. Okay. Have a good week. Enjoy yourselves out there. We're getting close to the end of another year. So I hope things are going well for you. Ciao.